That's right. But I'm louder today than I have been. I was just figuring this up. This has been going on way too long. This is day 6 of no voice or little voice, low-level voice. Anyways, I am here this morning. How are you doing? Yes, I'm Ann Eller. I'm little, but I'm loud and I'm proud. That's right. How you doing today? Hope you're doing well. Boy, I tell you what, I don't mean to be a downer, but we could have snow this Saturday. Can you believe that? I cannot believe that. It's looking pretty promising. It's up 10% over the other day. Hey, let's check the weather and get started here this morning. I guess we just cannot catch a break. I think the good thing if we do get snow, number one, it's just going to be snow, and 1 to 3 inches of something fun would be okay as long as we don't get any ice or anything else like that. I'm tired of the ice and the cold. This is not the weather that we are supposed to have in Greenwood, South Carolina. On a higher note, though, just think about all the bugs and everything that's been killed. And from my perspective, with Princess Penny and her desire to eat these mushrooms in the backyard and everything, it's going to be helpful. It's been very helpful because of that. So I guess we'll deal with it. We don't have a choice, really, do we? But the weather today is, well, I thought I might just get the temperature. 33 degrees, feels like 29 out there. We are headed for a high of 50 degrees today, low of 27, plentiful sunshine. Looks like a great day. Hopefully the rest of this stuff will be gone. So just be prepared tonight. Clear sky, a low of 27 degrees. Thursday comes in with a high, some sun in the morning with increasing clouds during the afternoon, high of 47. Thursday night, a low of 25, partly cloudy skies. Friday, a mix of clouds and sun in the morning, followed by cloudy skies during the afternoon, high of 50, a low of 27 on Friday night. And here's where it gets very interesting. On Saturday, watching a potential winter storm, snow likely. High of 31 puts it right there in the opportunity for snow. Chance of snow 80%, snow accumulating 1 to 3 inches. What do we got Saturday night, folks? Saturday night, snow showers early, breaks in the overcast later. Low of 14 degrees on Saturday night. Chance of snow drops down to 50%. However, coming in on Sunday, mainly clear, mainly sunny skies, high near 35 with a low of 14 degrees on Sunday. If that holds, that means that snow is going to stick around. Now, by Monday, looks like the snow would be gone. We get a high on Monday of 41. So if we get snow, that's what we're looking at. Now, you can say this is just terrible, and for South Carolina it is. But let's just look at Paris, Maine. My old stomping grounds. It's 11 degrees there. Yes, they're frozen up there. Of course, they're hardy people up there. Let's see what it says for Paris, Maine. It's supposed to be a high of 13 and a low of -4 tonight. That's right. Tomorrow, let's see, that's Thursday, that's Wednesday. A high of 20, -1. Thursday, a high of 20, -3. This is in Paris, Maine now. Friday, a high of 13, -4. Saturday, 20 is the high, -1. And warming tremendously on Sunday with a high of 24 and a low of 16. So that's that's what they're dealing with up there. Plus, they've had a lot of snow, So I guess I shouldn't complain too much. One thing is for sure, walking dogs in snowy weather is not fun to do. That is for sure. So we should continue to count our blessings. Although I think this cold weather should be gone. I've had enough of it. I don't like it to get particularly hot, but I think we could warm up just a little bit. How about you? Speaking of Maine, I wanted to talk about the lobster lady. Do y'all know who the lobster lady is? The lobster lady was a person from Maine who started, I think it was at age 8, working on her father's, on her father's lobster boat, Maine lobster lady, Virginia Oliver. She became quite famous. There were specials and stuff done about her. Who worked decades in the lobster industry, dies at 105. She was born in Rockland, Maine, started trapping lobsters at age 8 alongside her father and older brother at a time when few women worked on the water in the male-dominated industry. She fell in love with the business and went on to become known as the lobster lady, as she faithfully tended traps for decades. I think she was working the boats up until her 80s, I believe. And so she was known as the lobster lady. There's specials about her and everything else out there. But I just wanted to say a salute to the lobster lady up there. 105. So just FYI, you may not have known her or anything, but she was kind of a character up there in Maine. You know, my brother actually worked on the lobster boats up there when he was young, and he told me he knew the lobster lady. So anyways, that was just kind of a neat story. Also, today is National Blueberry Pancake Day, National Kazoo Day. All right, I already tried to play the kazoo this morning. The voice is not cooperating with the kazoo. But the kazoo is a fun instrument. We have taken them to elementary schools and had a good time. We've taken them out there to Wesley Commons and had a good time. They really are a fun instrument because everybody can play the kazoo. So it's National Kazoo Day, and of course that's to help get people to appreciate music. It recognizes nearly 200 years of kazoo music in the United States. It also encourages playing and learning about the kazoo. It's also National Pop Art Day, which sometimes I think we don't actually give enough credence to pop art. But it is by drawing inspiration from popular and mass culture, such as advertising, comic books, and mundane cultural objects. Pop art is an inspiration. And on that same topic here this morning, I found a lovely quote. Let's see if I can get back to it. And then I want to come back to that. Quote of the day by Robin Williams. You know, Robin Williams was really a quirky guy, but he really had some good deep thoughts too. He says, "You're only given a little spark of madness. You mustn't lose it." And it says, this short but powerful quote by Robin Williams feels simple at first, yet it carries deep message about life. It reminds us that the small quirks, strange ideas, and creative instincts we have are not flaws. They are gifts. In a world that often pushes us to be practical, serious, and predictable, this quote gently encourages us to protect the playful, curious, and different part of ourselves. At its core, it suggests that creativity and individuality are fragile. That's right, I'm fragile. Yes. The spark of madness Robin Williams referred to is not the chaos or irresponsibility. It is the imagination, the originality, the humor, and the emotional honesty. It is the part of us that dares to think differently and feel deeply. I think this is just a great quote for me. Anyways, as we grow older, life has a way of dulling the spark. Isn't that the truth? They just beat it out of you every day, and the news comes in and it beats it out of you every day. Responsibilities, social expectations, fear of judgment, and routine can slowly push us to conform. Isn't that the truth? You know, we need to be a little more nonconformists. Yeah, like, let's have dessert first. All right. Anyways, this quote acts a reminder that losing that inner spark can make us feel empty, even if everything looks successful on the outside. Williams is telling us that joy often comes from embracing our oddities rather than suppressing them. That is true. Be true unto thyself. That is right. And it says, in many ways, I love this. This goes on. I don't know who wrote this, but man, it's pretty good. In many ways, the quote also suggests courage. Holding on to your spark means choosing authenticity over approval. It means allowing yourself to laugh loudly, dream wildly, and express ideas that may not fit neatly into society's boxes. The spark is often the source of innovation, empathy, and genuine happiness. Well, how about that? How about that? I think that's pretty good. So, the next time somebody tells you you're kind of quirky, be proud. The spark of madness, be proud. Keep it. Don't lose it. That's right. And, of course, to do that, you have to use it. All right. I'm Ann Eller. This is WCRS This Morning. I'm actually feeling pretty good this morning. Okay, that's good. The show's over. No, it's not over. I got a lot to talk about here today. There are a lot of things that I wanted to discuss today. We've got, if you have a baby during, Trump's term here, you get the Trump baby account, right? So I guess that is, that's going to be a good thing. Will $1,000 spark you to have a baby, though? That's what I want to know. You can respond yes or no to 864-332-9355. Just a little fun survey, I thought. If $1,000 is going to say, yeah, baby, let's get it on. Let's get a baby made because we're going to get $1,000. Let's see how many people are ready to jump into that. Don't worry about if you're too old. This is just a survey. I just want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. 864-332-9355. Would you have a baby with $1,000 incentive? Not so much for me. Just saying. But you can vote any way you want to. 864-332-9355. Thought that would be a little fun this morning. What else did we have? Quote of the day. Yes, okay. I need to go back a page. A lot of things happened on this day, on our national calendar day. Of course, I know that they've been talking a lot about the Challenger explosion. That was, right around lunchtime on today's date, January 28th. I didn't remember, let's put it that way, that the Challenger went up 2 hours later because the temperatures were cold down there at Cape Canaveral. So that was, of course, horrible. That was 1986, 73 seconds into liftoff. And that's where Terry McAuliffe was the teacher that was on there. And there'd been a big push for science and the excitement of sending a teacher into space. I mean, just a horrible, horrible, horrible crash, and all the bodies were just totally destroyed, as you can imagine. But let's see, who was on this thing? The crew was announced. Dick Scobie, Michael Smith. Let's see, Dick Scobie was the commander. Michael Smith was assigned as the pilot. Michelin specialist Ellison Azuko, Judith Resnick, and Ronald McNair. The two payload specialists were Gregory Jarvis and Hughes Aircraft Company when Charles McCulphy, who flew as part of the Teacher in Space project. I think that's a day we all will remember where we were. But anyways, January 28th, on this date, 11:28, I believe, the flight went up, and it was 73 seconds later, it exploded before everybody's eyes. And I was watching something this morning, they said there'd been a real push to get TVs into all the classrooms so that everybody could watch this and everything. So that was just huge. Also, it was 1956 on this day. Elvis Presley makes his first national television appearance. And I found this one most interesting. I never knew this. 1915, President Woodrow Wilson refuses to prohibit immigration of illiterates. He refuses to prohibit immigration of illiterates. I find that even an interesting topic, that would be the topic, or that could be a condition, but he refuses to do that. Also, for those of you that are into Legos, in 1958, the Lego company patents the design of the Lego bricks. So that's a few of the things back from memorable events for January 28th. January 28th. All right, what else we got going? You got a question or a comment here? You know what to do. 864-332-9355. 864-332-9355. We are alive on Facebook Live at WCRS Radio. We're live on the radio. Yes, we are. And I'm Ann Eller and having a good time here this morning. Glad my voice is coming back. This afternoon, we've got a real special guest. Amber Searles with the Piedmont Agency on Aging is going to be here talking about the grandparent program. Okay, I guess we should probably get into I should get into a few serious things. Holtman is on the ground in Minneapolis. He spoke with both the mayor and the governor yesterday. It looks to me like both gave lip service. Maybe Governor Walz gave a little bit more lip service than Fry. Fry the froggy is feeling pretty froggy. We will not comply. We want you out of here, yada, yada, yada. Things on the ground do seem to be a little bit calmer. So that is a good thing. However, the investigation continues. They're saying Walz has so many problems that he's like really in a tough spot. He's got all these fraud allegations coming his way. They said part of the reason they may have chosen Walz for Kamala's vice president was because of his ability to raise money from all the Somalis there in Minnesota. What do you think about that? 864-332-9355. 864-332-9355. I think that is hilarious if it is true. That just shows one thing and one thing only to me. There's an old saying, people only do what you inspect, not what you expect. And without oversight, our money is spent just terribly. You could say the same thing about children. If you just give them money and say, here, go spend it, and have no guardrails, don't teach them how to be responsible, all these other things that we try to do with children, that's what you have. They'll go out and buy, they won't save any money, they'll go buy toys, they'll buy candy, whatever. And very few are just automatically going to try to save it or make something of it. So people don't do what you expect, only what you inspect. It's a very old saying, and it is so, so true. And I learned it at a very early age when I started down the business road. Anyways, I thought that was most interesting. Now on to Omar here with her little town hall last night she was having, calling for the resignation or impeachment of Kristi Noem. And all of a sudden, some guy with a syringe came running up there and sprayed some foul-smelling stuff. You know what I found interesting? I don't know. There's a lot of scuttlebutt on how was this real? Was it not real? Of course, people are taking it serious because it's Ilmar Omar, and they want to make sure that no improprieties. But it is rather interesting if you see the video of this. Nobody grabbed her and got her out of the way. In fact, she was almost walking towards him like trying to tell him to get the heck off her stage or whatever. I don't know. But she didn't pull back. And, they went and they grabbed the man. Of course, the security grabbed him and hauled him off. But nobody grabbed her and pulled her back. And then she goes, no, I want to continue. I must continue this town hall. We will not be stopped by this. So I think it'll be interesting as the days go on and find out about this guy who attacked Ilmar Omar at her town hall. Of course, there's another one that's got her, that's really got stuff happening to her. How do you go from 0 to 30 million? That's an interesting question, isn't it? All right. So that's a little on the national stage. President Trump had a big rally in Iowa. He's back on the stump. You know what I find interesting is to watch him on the stump and to watch him deliver his speech and his mannerisms and all these things that he puts together here. It's very well polished. And then I mean, not to be ugly or anything. And then sometimes, as president, he can be very presidential on the stump. Maybe that's the best way to say it. He can be very presidential on the stump. And then he can not be as presidential not on the stump. Does that make sense? He does can seem very different when he's not on the stump. I wonder, and this is just me thinking off the top of my head, I wonder if he will, I'll use the words, become more presidential as he's out on the stump more. I wonder if being off the stump has made him veer from some of the comments and some of the things that he has said. I just was thinking about that and thinking, we'll have to see how this develops. We'll have to watch that one. But he is going to be out there. He is, of course, he has a very big vested interest in everything going the way that he wants. Also, I don't have time to talk about it today, but it seems like there's a lot of question as to what did the United States get from Greenland? Did we really pick up anything new? And if the mineral rights are such a big deal, which I believe that is part of the reason, how difficult it will be to be able to, as they said, drill through ice to get to these minerals. So I don't really know that we ended up with that much, or is the deal even finished? I don't think I've heard anything saying. I think they've set a framework of the deal. However, other things to be watching is that they do have a armada headed to Iran. And what will Iran do? I think that's going to be the next powder keg, as well as Cuba. Where do we stand with Cuba? And China is certainly getting a lot of attention as people are turning to China. But I think the question, are they really turning to China, or is this just a way to poke the bear, the United States of America? We will have to wait and see. All right, let's hear a quick word from some of our sponsors. We've got some new ones, not new ones. We've got some new ads. I wanted to make sure I featured those this morning. Also, want to remind you that there is a huge, and I mean a huge, opportunity to win a ice cream cake, a Devil's Red Velvet ice cream cake from Dairy Queen. All you got to do is sign up and tell us who you love. And if you love yourself, well, okay, win it for yourself. I don't care. We are looking, and if you do tell us who you love, you get a discount on your birthday. Don't need really the year, just need your birthday. So go to WCRS. Let's see, if you want to go directly to the fill-out form, WLMA, WCRS, radio.com/Valentine's. If you're too busy to write that down right now, you know you can go to our website, WCRS1450am.net. There's a big sliding banner that comes across the front, and that will take you to the registration page. Sign up today. We are going to be, don't wait, because you know what you do. You forget, have you signed up or not? So sign up as soon as you can. Get your name in the hat. It's very simple. And then on Valentine's Day, we're going to be drawing a special winner on that during Trash to Treasures, which is on, of course, Saturday, February 14th. So let's hear a quick word from some of our sponsors, not all of them, some of our sponsors, right here on WCRS. Let's see. I think I'll take a little commercial break. Yes, here we go. And then I think I'll play these commercials. I've changed things up so you can hear them on the radio and you can hear them on the stream at the same time. What about that? Okay, here's the DQ commercial telling you what to do, folks. Take it away. Who do you love? I want to know, I want to know. Who do you love? I want to know, I want to know. That's right, WCRS and DQ want to know, who do you love? Tell us, and one lucky winner will win a Red Velvet DQ ice cream cake. Plus 2 lucky winners will win small blizzards. To enter, go to WLMA, WCRSradio.com/Valentine. Fill out the form to enter. We'll draw the winner of Who Do You Love on Valentine's Day, 2/14. With love from DQ and WCRS, because love is sweeter with ice cream. So, who do you love?
In these tough economic times, more and more individuals find themselves in life crisis. The Greater Greenwood United Ministry Crisis Ministry offers financial assistance for rent evictions and utility disconnections. Last year, the Crisis Ministry provided $85,000 in assistance to keep families in their homes with their electricity on. The Crisis Ministry also partners with other community agencies and can make referrals as necessary. Please call 864-942-0500 and choose option 0 for more information about crisis assistance. Greater Greenwood United Ministry, offering a hand up to those in life and medical crisis for over 30 years.
There's no place like this place anywhere.
Hey, did you see Bob? He just tried a yoga class, upside down.
And Jane just swam 10 laps while juggling her water bottle.
Somehow, I feel like I belong here.
You do. This is the Greenwood YMCA, where everyone's having fun and everybody knows your name.
There's no place like this place anywhere. Come join the fun and make 2026 the year you belong. At the Greenwood YMCA, there's no place like this place.
At Greenwood Pathway House, we are a Christian ministry that helps people make changes in their life so that they can overcome homelessness permanently. Helping those who were living in Greenwood or Abbeville County at the time they became homeless, we provide residents with the support and training they need to build functional lives, obtain employment, and move into their own homes. Visit our website at gwdpathway.org or call us at 223-4460 to learn how you can make Greenwood and Abbeville stronger by helping people from our area overcome homelessness.
Oh, I'm louder now than I was. So there you go. How you doing, everybody? Hey, I'm Ann Eller. Make sure you sign up for that Valentine giveaway. DQ, Dairy Queen, and WCRS coming together to give you a special on Valentine's Day. You can eat it yourself, or you can share it with the one you love. Either way, it's up to you. Hey, I'm Ann Eller, though, just having a good time here this morning, feeling much better, much better. Looking forward to a great day. Going to have Amber Searles with us here this afternoon. She is the foster grandparents coordinator. She is going to be telling us all about a great program where you can get paid and have fun with young children in elementary school, I believe it is, or younger, primary school maybe, and help them get a full start on life. So if you're looking for something to do, if you'd like to be involved in our community, if you'd like to be helping the next generation get a foot up, then you should tune in this afternoon on this program. We're also going to be hearing about some of the other challenges and things that are happening at Piedmont Agency on Aging. You know, they also handle Meals on Wheels, so it's an important part of our community, particularly for our seniors. So, but being a program that you can get to do something fun by being a foster grandparent and to be helping children sounds like a winner to me. So tune in this afternoon. That'll be from 5 to 6 this afternoon. That's right. Well, Penny is sitting right here. I'm going to take a little break and talk about Penny. You know, Penny and I have had it'll be almost a year that I have had Penny. I think I got her in February. I'm not sure of the date right at this moment. We've had a up and down relationship, and I have shared some of this. And it wasn't really her fault. It was my fault because I wasn't prepared to be a pet parent again, nor... Oh, that's right. You're listening to WCRS 98.5, 1450 AM right here in Greenwood, South Carolina. I wasn't probably prepared for the amount of time that I had budgeted in there for this precious puppy that I had gotten. And so, therefore, I'd be right in the middle of something and she'd need to go out, or she'd need this, or she'd need that. And so it created a lot of angst and stress. And many of my friends will tell me every time I called them, they said, "Do you still want to keep Penny?" Well, it's now been over a year. Well, I've had her for February be a year. But, and she is now over a year, and I can honestly say she is a joy in my life every day, every day. We have finally gotten in sync with each other. You know, we still have some training things that we're working on. but I can see progress every day. And she has come to understand that all her needs can't be met right when she needs them. So it's a work in progress, but I must say that she adds a lot of joy to my life. And to everyone that said, Ann, you need to get a dog, you need to get a dog. I am very glad that Princess Penny is part of my life, and hoping very soon, this has taken a lot longer than I thought, that she will be a part of the show, but she is coming along quite well. So I just wanted to say that. I was thinking about that yesterday as I was out there walking Penny, and I was going, here we go again. And then I thought, no, now all I have to do is say, come on, let's go potty, and we got it going on. So life is good. I'm Ann Eller. This is WCRS Radio. Okay, now I got to talk about some things for shame here in South Carolina. Yes. I want to tell you what, I cannot believe this. I just cannot believe this. South Carolina is $150 million over budget on promises it made to bring Scout Motors to the state. Have you heard about this? Oh my God, this is a story from hell. South Carolina has racked up $150 million in cost overruns as it works to fulfill pledges it made to lure electric vehicle maker Scout Motors to the state. The state's Economic Development Agency wants the taxpayers to make up the difference. South Carolina lawmakers in March of 2023 already agreed to spend $1.3 billion to bring Scout to the Palmetto State. If the General Assembly does not agree to pony up the additional cash in the next state budget, the State Commerce Department would have to tell contractors working on the site that it doesn't have the money to pay them. And we would not have the money to pay them for several years under our regular funding, Harry Lightsey, South Carolina's economic development chief, told legislators Tuesday. Funding future money from its standing annual budget allocations also means Commerce would have to pass on other companies that may come seeking to build in the state, he said. This is, I just cannot go with this. And we wonder why Scout Motors opened their headquarters in North Carolina. Did they know this was happening? I mean, I just want to know. I got to play this. That's right. It's a doggone shame. More than half of the over-budget expenses are related to an environmental package meant to offset the wetlands loss when the Volkswagen subsidy started to build, Lightsey told a House budget writing panel. I mean, this is like unbelievable that they didn't have this right. On top of that, on top of that, what did I have here? More than half of the over-budget expenses are related to the environmental package meant to offset the wetlands lost when the Volkswagen subsidy started to build, Lightsey told the House budget. In the agreement with Scout, the State Department of Commerce and Richland County agreed to contract and pay for all the mass grading work at no cost to the company, and the costs of all associated environmental requirements were to be borne solely by the state and county. That's what the 192-page contract reads. At the heart of the issue are tight deadlines. Scout Motors set for getting this work done so it could begin assembling vehicles in 2027. Those due dates were redacted in the copy of the agreement that Commerce provided to the South Carolina Daily Gazette, which is part of the state newspaper, which is where this article comes from. Scout wanted to build this plant and have it in production on an extremely aggressive schedule, so there was certainly a lot of time pressure involved in all of this. That meant the Commerce needed a waiver from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. How long has Greenwood been dealing with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers on Buzzard's Roost? If we had to go through a 2-year process, that would have killed the project. The company, through a permit filed by Commerce and the county on behalf, first offered to protect 4,900 acres of wetlands near the Congaree National Park and another 155 acres on the broad river known as Shelton Island. To win the Corps' approval, the Corps, they sweetened the deal. They added 18 miles of stream restoration in Sumter National Forest to its environmental proposal, along with more improvements to land along the Congaree River. While the group waited for the nod from the Corps, crews had to pause work for 5 months, tallying up an even greater bill, while equipment the state had rented sat idle. We wanted to be ready to go to work as soon as we received the wetlands permits, and we were concerned that if we let go of the equipment, that would take additional time in an effort to get the equipment back on the site. This is a kerfuckle. I'm just going to say it. This is a kerfuckle. Once the Corps, and I did not swear, it's kerfuckle. Once the Corps allowed the state to resume work, Commerce spent an additional $18 million to bring more crews on site and get its construction schedule back on track after the months-long environmental delay and an unusually rainy 2024. This is all from the Commerce Director, Lightsey. Also related to the rain, the State Department of Environmental Services required Commerce to build dams on site to hold back rainwater and keep clay and silt from washing onto downstream neighbors' property. The cost? Just $17 million. Beyond the environmental issues, a third of the overruns were related to road improvements the state and county agreed to make on Scout's behalf. So, Scout also upped their investment. In his own budget proposal, Governor Henry McMaster only recommended giving Commerce a third of the money it's requesting. Commerce officials did not say how the agency would make up the remainder if the legislature adopts the governor's suggestion. Scout Motors did not approach Commerce or the government about making the budget ask, according to the company spokesman. In a statement, the company said it appreciates the state of South Carolina's continued commitment to completing the earthwork and site preparation in support of our project. Scout also pointed out that its own expenses have ballooned, and it is building out of a business heart to house potential suppliers without requesting any additional incentives. That brings the company's total investment to $3 billion, a $1 billion increase over the initial. Meanwhile, look at this. This is what I find amazing. Meanwhile, more than 130,000 people have signed up to buy the first Scout vehicles when they roll off the line next year. Well, good luck with that one, folks. Of those pre-orders, 80% of the buyers are asking for the hybrid-like models the car maker announced in October 2024 that it would offer, battery and gas. These are the ones that Scout calls harvesters. They have both batteries and a gas engine. Commerce officials said they were able to respond by deadline to questions from the South Carolina Daily Gazette about whether it had approached Scout Motors about amending the agreement to have the company cover the shortfall. Oh, my God. Let's see. One legislator from Charleston, Representative Leon Starvinkus, said, "Sure, you're not happy about the overrun. We're not happy about it. And then they asked, but if you knew 2.5 years ago that it would cost an extra $150 million, would you still have recommended this project to the governor and to the General Assembly? Asked the chairman of the Ways and Means Committee. Absolutely, Lightsey replied. He's the head of the Commerce Department. Wow, $150 million. Yeah, and well, we have that extra money sitting there. What will they do? What will they do? I think this is, is this one of those in for a penny, in for a dime type things, where they're already so far into it? What's going to happen? This just happened yesterday on the floor down there in the legislature. I wanted to bring you that story because it's always the taxpayer that ends up having to pay. It's always something, and they should have known. Dealing with the Corps of Engineers, it is. It is a doggone shame. Let me tell you, it is a travesty that before they made this total deal, that they didn't have that worked out, unless they thought that the Corps of Engineers was in their pocket. I find that hard to believe, because how long have we been dealing with them here in Greenwood on Buzzards Roost? I don't even know if that thing's ever been finished. The fuse plug, the thing about the fuse plug and everything. Anytime you're dealing with, if it was totally state contained, meaning the state was in charge of all aspects of it, maybe that they could have controlled that. But they couldn't control what they had going there. So this is going to be one to watch. And who's it going to cost? You, me, the taxpayers of South Carolina. I can see it now. We need a 5-cent increase in sales tax across the board, a state increase on top of the capital sales tax. That's what they'll come up with to pay for this. Yeah. Okay. And then they'll tell us what? Well, you're not really having to pay for it. Yes, all these people coming in, all the tourists are coming in and paying for it. Anyways, it is interesting times that we live in, but this type of budgeting, I think, dealing with the Corps of Engineers should have been expected and should have known that it would not go as smoothly, and never should have agreed to an aggressive time frame of 2027. As I said, I just find it interesting that Scout put their headquarters in North Carolina. FYI, just part of my quirky personality here. Quirky personality. All right, what else do we have here this morning? Got a question or a comment about what I'm talking about? 864-332-9355. 864-332-9355. Anybody got anything to input on that? Somebody said, yes, Ann, you're on it. That's true. That's true. We've got to keep our eye on this legislature. You know, the problem is in anything that is able to raise money and get money, the more money they have, the more money they spend. But, you know, the other thing is, what other projects, if they decide to go ahead with this, that's kind of an underlying one, is the Commerce Department going to have to pass on, because they have put all their dollars, all their money in one bucket, the Scout Motors bucket, which is a terrific deal if they can get it through. But 130,000 people waiting on vehicles. What's going to happen to those vehicles if they're not produced in 2027? I think those are going to be some of the real questions, the dollars and cents. What if South Carolina says, we'll ante up the money, and now Scout can't get the building done, and Scout loses that $130,000 worth of sales that they were anticipating? There's a lot of moving pieces in this puzzle. Well, I wanted to close out with one more story. This will be my last story for today. Don't forget, you need to sign up for the Valentine's Day ice cream cake that DQ is giving away with WCRS. Very easy to sign up. Go to WLMA, WCRS Radio. .com/Valentines to sign up. WLMA used to be a radio station here in Greenwood. It was one that I owned many years ago. So that was a first name that we had, WLMA, WCRSradio.com. Somebody just asked me what was WLMA. That was a radio station. Ron Moore owned that radio station, and I guess we could say I foolishly bought it, but maybe not, because it was really my entry into radio. So thank you, Ron, for the experience that I had with WLMA, now owning, of course, WCRS Radio. So that's all that means. And then, of course, if you want to go directly to the form, WLMA, WCRSradio.com. /Valentine, or just go to WCRS Radio. By the way, all of our radio shows that I do, the morning show, the afternoon show, they all end up on WCRS1450am.net. Sometimes it's the next day, sometimes over the weekend, takes the first of the week, but we always are putting those shows up there so you can always go back. You can always go back to those shows, which is great because they'll be up there forever. On Facebook, they're there for 30 days, but on the shows that we put on the website, which we put all of the shows now, they are up there forever. So every word I say is up there forever. All right, I know that this story was on South Carolina News. You may have heard it. I wanted to give you a little more detail. South Carolina optometrist, drug patient, planned Las Vegas wedding in an act of coercive control. And there's now a lawsuit. This story is just unbelievable. A Horry County eye doctor took her drugged patient to Las Vegas for a commitment ceremony after repeatedly making sexual advances during his clinic visits, according to a recently filed lawsuit. Jonathan Garrick on Friday sued Carla J. Blankenship, an optometrist at Coastal Vision Center, on grounds of battery, intentional infliction of emotional distress, fraud, and negligence in Horry County Common Pleas Court. Garrett, who joined the practice as a patient in 2021, started receiving treatment from Blankenship in April of 2023. Shortly after his first appointment with her, Blankenship sent him a personal greeting card inviting him on a date, according to the complaint. It just goes on and on and on and on. Where's the rest of this? Oh my God, this story is just crazy. And she really wouldn't take no for an answer. That was all the complaint. Where's the rest of the story? Her actions escalated during future visits, Garrick alleges. And she, in one such encounter, Dr. Blankenship placed her hand on Garrett's crotch and said, "This is going to be a problem," according to the lawsuit. Now, they didn't say that on South Carolina News, did they? But I did. She continued texting him from a company device and sent contact lenses at no charge sourced from its inventory, the lawsuit says. Dr. Blankenship was aware of Garrick's recent inheritance, business activities, and vulnerabilities, and exploited them to exercise coercive control, the complaint says. That include arranging a trip to Las Vegas while Garrett was plied with psychoactive substances and took him to an all-hours chapel for a commitment ceremony. She also added him to the deed of an investment property and entered into an inappropriate relationship with a contractor as they worked to defraud him, according to the complaint. Garrick sustained a severe hip injury after being assaulted by Blankenship, losing 50 pounds and forcing his hospitalization, the lawsuit claims. Is this unbelievable story? I mean, come on, woman, get a grip. You have a good job. You can afford to do your own thing. What's the deal here? She saw easy money and a target that couldn't, she thought, resist her. I wonder who actually got a hold of him and said, no, we're not doing this. But anyways, that is a story that I found like the good old days, just a good old story. Anyways, I am Ann Eller here with you this morning. There are some things going on that I probably should just quickly go through. Quickly, Ann, can you tell us what else is going on here? Be aware we could get snow this weekend. I mean, I can't believe it either, but we could get snow Saturday, so be prepared. I don't think you have to go overboard, but be prepared. They're saying 1 to 3 inches of snow. So find the sleighs, get the sleds, find the cardboard, the sliders and this type of thing. Go out and have a good time. Today, this afternoon, don't forget, we have Amber Seals with the Piedmont Agency on Aging Foster Grandparent Program. That's going to be a good show, and you're going to want to know all about it. Everybody is back in school. That's a good thing. I think all the schools are open, so that's good. Do want to remind you about that scam alert that the Greenwood County Sheriff's Office put out, where they said that somebody is impersonating Lieutenant Womack, and they're claiming that they have warrants on the citizens they call, and of course want money. As the sheriff's office says, they will greet you at the door. They won't be asking for money and a telephone call. So don't fall for that scam right there. Don't fall for that scam right there. What else? I thought I had a couple other things. Oh, I bet I need to do this. That's my problem. Let's see what else we have here this morning. Yes, we do have some other things. We do. The 5K, 8K run walk, Run Your Ice Off, is coming up on Saturday, February 7th. Starts at 8:30 at the fountain in Uptown Greenwood. So make sure if you're going to sign up for that, you can sign up with that with the chamber. It's probably going to be cold, but maybe not. Also, well, that's coming up this Saturday, the Emerald City Rotary Foundation, Greenwood Promise, and the library are having a special Dolly Parton birthday celebration on Saturday, January 31st from 11 to 12 at the library. This fun family event celebrates Dolly Parton and the joy of reading to young children. A Dolly impersonator will be on hand to read the story, and everyone will join together to sing happy birthday to Dolly. The Greenwood Promise mascot, Professor Promise, will also be there for photos and smiles. The first 50 children will receive a snack bag that includes a small art project to take home and enjoy. So that's Dolly Parton's birthday. I think that's pretty cool. I wanted to make sure I mentioned that. Also, over there at 96 at the train depot, they're having a vaccination clinic, the Humane Society, not for adults, for Humane Society, on February 2nd. This is not a free clinic, but it is, of course, reduced charges, 1 to 2:30. That is through Petco Love, so that will be a good thing. So that's coming up on the 2nd. What else did I have? We got the food drive going on between the city and the county. Help out in any way you can. These will help the Soup Kitchen and United Ministries Food Bank, with both are vital services to those in need. So if you're out and you see a deal on something, they want canned goods. They want really heavy canned goods because it's all by weight, So there you go. That's another one. And Thursday, January 28th, tomorrow, January 29th, from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. at the Inn on the Square at the Fox and Hound. They're having Find Your Place in Greenwood. Welcome packets will be available for newcomers, and anyone interested in becoming more engaged in our vibrant community is invited. So whether you're new or just want to come and find out what's going on, it's free for all to attend. 5:30 to 6:30 at the Inn on the Square at the Fox and Hound. That is Thursday evening. That sounds like a great event to find out more about our community in a very easy type of way. All right. Anything else I got to tell you here today? I think that is going to do it. There's going to be music all over our community again. Local Focal has posted, and we'll be posting that on WCRS on the radio, so you'll be able to hear what Granger has to say. So that, I think, is about going to do it for me. Penny says, it's time for my breakfast. Let's get this show on the road. So without further ado, make sure you let me know if you like what I'm talking about. If you don't like what I'm talking about, I'm sorry. I hope that I provided a little entertainment here this morning. This is WCRS Radio right here in Greenwood, South Carolina. We are going to close out this show, so let's drop the curtain. Let's cue the music, and I'll be back at 5 with Amber Searles right here on WCRS. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a great day.